going back to what we were saying earlier on about basically the rules in the game.
Yep.
Now, I was talking to my tutor, Dave McGuinness.
Yep.
Basically, and he was explaining like the rules of the game. You know, the FA, the RFA. You know, the rules are stipulated that each referee has to have their own sort of like law handbook. They get a DVD where they get scenarios that they have to watch. You know, and this is like sort of a religion. Now, however, he said he's also a coach, but he said, but the funny thing is, you know, the students of the game, the guys that actually play it, they don't get none of that. They don't know the rules.
Yeah.
They're just taught how to play football.
Yeah.
Now, I just wanted to ask your opinion on that, because like I had a discussion with my dad and he was like adamant, well, you don't need to know the rules of the game, because if you're actively playing it, you kind of, you know, you're coerced into knowing the rules. But I was actually adamant with my dad, like, but that's not the same thing, because you don't actually know the rules. You're not actually reading the rules word by word and knowing what the actual rule is. You're just taking an interpretation from a coach. Each coach is going to give their own interpretation of the rule depending on how they've learnt it. Now, if you've got that sort of span of teaching throughout football, and that's gone on for 100 years, that means everyone's learnt differently and everyone's going to have their own interpretations on the law. Now, I want to ask you, like, your opinion from, you know, your background and other people that you've played with who've probably played at a higher level as well. You know, in terms of the laws of the game, do you think it's needed that players need to learn it? Would you have just thought it's essential for them to play it? And everyone else on Twitter as well, and Facebook and in the chat room, what, OJ?
What, is it essential to know the rules whilst playing, do you mean?
Well, yeah. If you hear players say that they don't know the offside rule, so wouldn't you have expected them to read it in a book to know what the offside rule is?
Yeah.
Reading off the same hymn sheet as the actual referee himself.
You know what? Yeah, the fact of the matter is, as a player, you do have to have at least a basic understanding of the rules. And some know more of the rules than others. Some know how to bend the rules more than others. But I do think you have to have an understanding of the rules to be able to play at your best, because then you can adapt your game to the rules. And at the end of the day, well, you can bend them as well. As defenders, we sometimes do bend the rules, bit of jockeying for position and all that on corners and that, and set pieces. But at the end of the day, football is kind of an instinct thing.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily have to know the rules to play or play well.
Do you think it's something that just for the general interest of a child, basically, who's interested in football, do you reckon that's something they should learn? You know, just like a referee would have to take a test and know the rules to be a referee. Do you reckon the same thing should happen for, like, you know, actual footballers, academy players, whoever? You know, do you reckon to be in a team they should actually know the laws, like, at a certain percentage or degree? Do you think that would benefit them?
I don't think it would, because as said, a lot of players run on instinct, and a lot of football players, if they had brains, they'd be out playing with them in the backyard. So it's one of them. I see football very much as an instinct thing in terms of a player. Now, as a referee, you've got to know the rules of the game, because that's what you're enforcing.
Definitely. If you don't know the rules, you can't enforce it. Yeah. But it would, personally, I just have this sense that it would make it easier for the referee if players knew laws themselves. Like you do have instincts. Like, for instance, it's just silly things like you know, a substitution. Yeah. Now, could you name me the 6 procedures of a substitution?
No.
Because you wouldn't know where to start. But you'd know. If I told you, tell me what happens when you get substitution, what happens when the substitution happens, you'd be able to tell me. But if I ask you, could you name me procedures, you're probably thinking, what this guy talking about? You know? And it's obviously, when you're at a level of 18 or past that, you'd be expected to know it because you've been doing it for so long. Yeah. But for me, all right, and if you're 6 or something, then it's like, you wouldn't really want to teach them that because it's too much for them to take in. Yeah. But for me, it would be like, it would just be good general knowledge anyway. Just like,
Because I was going to say, I don't think Manisha Taylor and Rachel Yankee will be teaching like 7-year-olds at their team, Gibbons Records FC. They wouldn't be teaching them, right, these are the procedures of the game. You just want to I would assume you just want to get them out playing and get them enjoying it.
And having fun and everything.
Yeah, having drills and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like helping them enjoy it rather than getting bogged down with all the theory.
Yeah.
So
I just feel that would be beneficial in some sort of way.
Something interesting was said by Kieran Sullivan in the Skype chat. Kieran, would you like to articulate that for the people, what you said in Skype chat?
Oh, what? About natural?
Yeah, about being naturally good, yeah.
Well, you either naturally know about football or you don't. You can't force it upon someone that doesn't like it, and you can't you either have an interest in football and you're either good at it or you're not. You can't force them. I know someone that's dad is a bit top coach and coaches, but his son's not very good, but he tries, but he doesn't necessarily enjoy it. But it's just because it's been forced upon him.
Yeah. Nah, it's never good when you're forced into anything, and pushy parents, I don't agree with it. I really don't agree with it. With football, you've got, or any sport, or anything in life, you've got to love it to really put your heart and soul into it. And Rachel Yankee said something very similar in the interview we had with her last Monday at Joy Francis's Words of Colour event. The young journalist event, and basically she was saying that when you love something, you'll put so much more effort into it, and it's true.
I agree and I disagree. I think some kids do need pushing. I really do think some kids do need pushing. You get me? If you were to leave kids to do their own devices and make that up in their own minds, they'll be a bit sluggish. They might be good at something, they might not see it. I'm not saying all kids, I'm saying some kids actually do need it.